Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Hey everyone, first of all, heartiest greetings and welcome you all to my channel. My name is Sakshi Shreya and this is my YouTube channel where I will share my flair of art with you all.
Hello, buddies. Welcome you all to my Let's Talk About Poet session. So, the poet in our today's session is John Keats. So, to begin with, today I am going to discuss about his life's highlights in brief. He was an English poet prominent in the second generation of Romantic poets with Lord Byron and Percy Bysshe Shelley. He was born in Moorgate, London on 31st October 1795 to Thomas Keats and his wife Frances Jennings according to baptism records. He was the eldest of four surviving children. His younger siblings were George, Thomas, and Frances Mary Fanny, who eventually married Spanish author Valentin Yanaus Gutierrez. Another son was lost in infancy. He was baptized at St. Botolph without Bishop Kate and sent to a local school as a child. In April 1804, when Keats was only 8, his father died from a skull fracture after falling from his horse. In March 1810, when Keats was 14, his mother died of tuberculosis. In October 1815, he was accepted as a dresser at the hospital, assisting surgeons during operations. It brought great responsibility, and at this point, he had a genuine desire to become a doctor. He has written his first extant poem, An Imitation of Spenser, in 1814 when he was just 19. In 1816, he received his apothecary's license, which made him eligible to practice as an apothecary, physician, and surgeon. But before the end of the year, he announced to his guardian that he has decided to be a poet, not a surgeon. Although he continued his work and training, he devoted more and more time to the study of literature, experimenting with verse forms, particularly the sonnet. In May 1816, Leigh Hunt agreed to publish the sonnet O Solitude in his magazine, The Examiner, a leading liberal magazine of the day. In the summer of that year, he began Calidore and initiated the era of great letter writing. He braced himself for further study in order to become a member of the Royal College of Surgeons. In early December 16, under the heady influence of his artistic friends, he decided to give up medicine. Also, he had spent a great deal on his medical training, and despite his state of financial indebtedness, he had made large loans to friends such as painter Benjamin Haydon. In June 1818, he went to a walking town of Scotland, Ireland, and the Lake District with his friend Charles Armitage Brown. They lived in Ohio and Louisville, Kentucky until 1841 when George's investments failed. After his return to South in August, he continued to nurse his brother, exposing himself to infection, and died on 1st December 1818 at the age of 25. This was all about his life. The main motive behind me telling you all his story is that people often don't appreciate their life struggles and consider it to be a so-called boring history. But now it's time to change your perception and appreciate their struggle. Writing style. Keats' diction is highly connotative. He had an exquisite touch with words, and he was called the poet of beauty because he saw everything around him as beautiful. Achievements. Well, he was one of those poets who achieved success although he had spent a short span in building up his career. He has written many sonnets, odes, and epics. All his greatest poetry was written in 1819. Now, as a reader, the point comes what we can learn from him. First, success is not easy. Success in any career is not a very easy task and can only be achieved by continuous efforts and hard work. In his case too, his work during first attempts were completely vag, and although having innate poetic sensibility, he only achieved success by hard work. Second, your deeds make you remember. This line suits the best for him because he lost his family and died at an early age, but what makes him remember today also is his meticulous talent of poetry. Third, life is uncertain. It's very true in context with his situation because he had many dreams and plans for his career, but unfortunately, he was not there to fulfill it. Now, at the end, I will tell you some of his famous quotes. First, a thing of beauty is a joy forever. Second, the poetry of earth is never dead. Third, love is my religion. I could die for it. Fourth, heard melodies are sweet, but those unheard are sweeter. Fifth, what the imagination seizes as beauty must be truth. That's all for today. Now, as usual, I request you all to submit your questions about the poet for the imaginary interview session. We'll meet you guys there. Till then, stay safe and happy.